What's going on, my broskies? My name is Toadski, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. So now we have access to the 6+ version 2 Rayleigh. This character has been one of the most anticipated Super Evolutions to come out due to the fact that this guy is quite good in Pirate Rumble, which is what we're going to be focusing in on today. Now, before recording this video, I did chuck him on a team. I've tried a couple of different team builds for this guy. I've run some single matches, I've run some rival matches. I'm not really too sure what the best utilization of this Rayleigh is, but this is what I've come up with so far. This is the team that we're going to be using here today. Now, we have Whitebeard on the side there. I'll show my status there. So those are my levels of my characters. We've got Whitebeard there for some really nice health cuts. Unfortunately, Whitebeard does die very quickly early on in the match. And then we've also got Shanks Crew, who again is another health cutter and can provide massive defensive effects to our team. The thing about this team as well is that at the start of the match, we have basically no defense, which is really, really bad. But after the first 30 seconds, Shanks Crew's passive will kick in, and then that's when we'll start getting a lot of our defensive effects. Then we've got V3 Rayleigh, who, if you guys, or V2 Rayleigh, sorry, I should say, which mine is completely maxed out. I maxed him out just before. He is really good in Rumble, so this is what he does, right? His special at a 45 CT is quite bad, but it will do a large range of 1700 fixed damage, and then your entire team gets level 5 attack and level 5 defense for 15 seconds. That's pretty monumental, right? That's a huge boost there, and especially the defense, that's the biggest thing there. And then his passive, which at max level gives level 5 HP to your entire team, and then if his HP is below 60%, your entire team gets level 5 defense and level 5 guard percent up. Again, a really, really good defensive style unit that is able to launch fixed damage as well. So a very good unit to have, and that's what we're going to be showcasing here today. And then at the end there, we've got Carrot and V3? Yeah, V3 Katakuri, I was getting mixed up. V3 Katakuri and Carrot to give us really good amounts of fixed damage. Carrot's amazing, and Katakuri is my favorite PvP unit in the game. Now, V3 Katakuri, I did try out V1 Kuzan instead of Katakuri, who does similar style things, but Kuzan has a higher CT and he does large range, whereas Katakuri, he targets all enemies no matter what, and then he debuffs a lot of classes in the game. He also debuffs Sai with his passive, so those are the reasons why I decided to put him there. And then on the bench, I wasn't really too sure. You could put like PvP Neko, which I think is a good choice, but I decided to put Otama because if one of our characters get knocked out early, we want to try and heal back up as fast as we possibly can, and Otama definitely allows us to do that. So I guess without further ado, we're going to go ahead and find some matches, and we'll see how we go. Okay, so our first opponent is going to be against the Yaya Pirates. I've seen a lot of people trying to build Dex teams with Legend Kid, and I think that's a very good option. I think later on down the line, once I get enough Rumble Scrolls to max out Kid, I definitely want to build a Dex team with Kid, V2 Rayleigh, and a lot of other characters, because I think it's actually really good. You can see with this team as well that his Rayleigh is not Super Evolved yet, so it would be interesting to see how this team would fight with a Super Evolved Rayleigh instead, but we're going to go ahead and jump into it, and hopefully we can get the W. That would be awesome. Before I recorded this video, as I mentioned, I did do a couple of rival matches before getting into this, and every rival match that I did, for some reason the internet is not connecting, every rival match that I did actually get the win, which was quite surprising, and there was a couple of times where I thought I was going to lose, but we still were able to pull through, so I'm really hoping that we can get some W's today. If we get losses, we get losses. It is what it is. You know, sometimes you can't do much about it, but you know, as I mentioned, for the start of the match, we don't have a lot of defensive effects going on. You can see that we've got level 5 HP, which is from the passive of Rayleigh, and then we've also got Carrot's speed, which is from her herself, and then Katakuri also buffs the speed of int characters. So Katakuri is the fastest character on our team right now. So he's typically, from what I've seen, he's probably going to launch his special before Whitebeard's, which is not really good. You want to try and get Whitebeard's special to launch as fast as possible, because here we go. This is actually perfect right now. We get the huge health cut at the start there, and now when Katakuri is able to launch, we'll get a huge amount of damage, and then we've got another health cut there from Shanks Crew whenever that launches. Now Rayleigh just fell below that threshold. I think he might be just below that threshold. I think we did, and then we are now past the 70-second pointer now. So now Shanks Crew's passive is going to kick in. You saw a lot of damage in there from Katakuri. Now at this point here, our defenses are very high, so we don't even have to really worry about taking too much damage, unless if it's fixed damage. I think this guy does multiply damage, so we should tank it quite well, as we do. No problems at all. Carrot's about to launch her special, so be nice. How we go? Oh, this looks good. Oh, look at that target. Yo, let's go, dude. How good is that, man? Like, how good? And then Rayleigh, he's my mans. The 1700 fixed damage, the attack and defensive buff. Look at that. Oh, okay, you just saw it. We had up to 17 defense, but it got debuffed there. That was probably a timer one. That's probably based on timer. I don't know why we lost some defense there, but we're at 17. That was our max that we got to. And we still got level 5 health. Pretty decent speed, decent HP. But of course, with all these health cuts and fixed damage, that's the way that we're going to be mainly getting through here. And then Katakuri was able to launch another special there. So even if they were alive, huge damage there from coming in from Katakuri. And that was quite good, honestly. We killed the enemy very quick there. So, dude, this team's looking quite impressive, though. Let's see how we go against the next opponent. Okay, so now we've got the next opponent here. Now this, usually I don't attack any int teams at all in PvP just to make sure that I'm safe. But look, this is a 4-man team. There's no Blackbeard. The Dofi is a really scary one because if he gets his special to launch on us before we get to below 70 seconds, which he probably will, it's going to be quite bad because I did encounter that before doing some test runs with this team. And man, when Dofi launches his special and you don't have any defense, you just get absolutely decimated. And it did KO like 2 of my characters, but you know, in that match that I did prior to recording, then yeah, it was quite bad. But let's see how we go against the 4-man int team. This is quite a common defensive team that you will see, like on Global and even on JP to this day. It's quite a common team that you will see, and it is a very good team. Just all of these characters have amazing passives and specials that they just synergize so well together. So it's going to be interesting to see here what the specials looking like. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to get our defensive passives, though we get the really big health cut at the start. You love to see that. And then we got our Katakuri. Okay, he didn't get the special off, unfortunately. And we don't have any defense. Oh, that was quite bad, but we got Whitebeard below that threshold now, so we will get a bit of a buff to our team. We got Shanks who coming in with a health cut, so our 2 health cuts coming out first. That's literally the perfect scenario there. We're going to take a lot of damage from Katakuri. Whitebeard goes down, so we're going to have Otama come in now. Now, Otama has a really low CT, so we should be able to get her special to launch quite quickly. You can see with level 12 defense, we don't really have to worry about too much multiplied damage, but still fixed damage like this from Joris is going to hurt. Yeah, that's going to hurt. But now, hopefully, all of our characters can come through with some big hits. We've got Katakuri about to launch now. This should get close to KOing. Okay, we actually did KO the NL, which means that their defensive effects are going to go down quite a lot there because he has a very good passive on the defensive side of things. Carrot's going to come in. And there you go. This looks pretty much over now. Rayleigh's going to come in. Hopefully it targets. It does target. And that's GG. So there you go. 4-man int team. Of course, we did take a KO because our defensive effects, as I mentioned, our defensive effects at the start are quite low. Basically non-existent, aside from Rayleigh's level 5 HP. But we still were able to get the W, which is quite exciting. Okay, so let's see how the team performs against a Free Spirit crit team. This is going to be very interesting because the thing about the Free Spirit crit team is that once they start ramping up, their normal attacks do so much damage that it actually doesn't even matter that they're not launching specials, or that, you know, even if in the early stages where we don't have any defense, if they ramp up quicker than we get our defense, we are going to get absolutely decimated here. So we have to be very careful. So let's jump into it. Take the wheel, and hopefully we get the W once again. Another team I really wanted to showcase was a slasher team, but interestingly enough, we actually didn't come across many slasher teams that I was trying to find a team here. I mean, and if I did find a slasher team, it was not like the optimal slasher team. So I wanted to try and find like a 4 or 5-man slasher team that we could go up against here, but unfortunately I couldn't find one. And this one came up, and I thought it'd be an interesting one to showcase. So look, if Rayleigh falls below his HP threshold very quickly, that would actually be not too bad because we'll get a pretty big defensive boost there. So I wouldn't mind if that happens, and he's very close to reaching that. Whitebeard's nearly got his special ready to go. So Otama's going to give him a heal, but that doesn't really matter at this point. It's very early days. That does not matter at all. Sabo Koala, they're going to launch. Okay, we're going to get the Katakuri launch, and then he's going to debuff all the enemies because they are free spirits. So that's actually quite huge for us. Sabo Koala, this is going to hurt. Oh, we did get some defensive effects there because it just reached that threshold. We get a little bit of defense from Rayleigh because he fell below 60%. So we're looking quite good right now. I'm not really scared at all. Like, yeah, they're going to be doing a bit of damage to us, but yeah, this is not bad. We're going to have Whitebeard once again coming in with the health cut. Otama for them is not ready yet, so they're not going to get a heal. Shanks crew for us is about to launch, which will give us another HP cut, which is going to be quite useful for us, so that when our fixed damages come in, like Carrot right here, this should be a pretty good wave clear. Boom! Let's go, Carrot! Let's go! Just wiping out 4 characters with 1 special. You love to see that. Rayleigh is about to launch as well, and hopefully he targets a large majority of these characters here. This would be huge. Alright, let's see what he does. He targets all of them. Yo, let's go, Rayleigh, my man. My man. And at this point, like, who's he got left? Corazon and Apu? Yeah, it's GG. Yo, okay, so I was a little scared at the start because if they launched a bunch of specials and we didn't have any defensive effects, then yeah, that would have been really bad. But of course, as I mentioned, once the timer hits 70 seconds, Shanks crew will have his passive launch, and then we can just basically start tanking hits. So no problem from there. So there we go. That's the rundown of V2 Rayleigh 6+ in Pirate Rumble, man. This character is so much fun. Of course, his special ability has a very high CT. So I guess if you run him with a couple of other characters, like potentially potentially Gil Tesoro, which can reduce your special CT of your team. That could be some way where you can get him to launch a little quicker. That might be another strategy you might want to adopt. I might look into that in the future, but this team's a bunch of fun. You know, I've been using the Int team pretty much exclusively since the start of Pirate Rumble, so it's nice to use something a little bit different, and you know, this team is actually really good, and you know, we don't know when that's going to be coming, but Pirate Rumble Whitebeard should be coming, I don't know, within the next month or two. And that character, again, is just going to increase the viability of a lot of different teams. So I'm really looking forward to when he drops, and I'm definitely going to be doing pulls for him. But anyways, that's going to wrap up this video today. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know your thoughts about V2 Rayleigh. I keep mixing it up. V2 Rayleigh down below in the comment section in Pirate Rumble, because I think he is so good. He is amazing in Pirate Rumble. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. And if you guys did, make sure you go ahead and hit the like button. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.